I wanted to talk about something that has been on my mind, that I've been ruminating about for the last week or so. I wanted to share how your fear of being perceived is ruining your life, your feelings, your emotions, everything about yourself. You are belittling while not tuning into something that you feel called to do because your fear is to be perceived. So, I wanted to talk about that topic today while I hold my needy cat, because if I put her down, she's gonna cry this entire time we chat. But welcome everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in and existing with me here today. My name is Bryony Kiana. Honestly, I'm just here to share honest, real, raw conversations, share my thoughts, my opinions, all things motherhood, spirituality, sobriety. Oh, there's honestly so much. I don't know. I just wanted a safe space where I could just share my thoughts and emotions, and yeah, that's why I'm here today. So, anyway, your fear of being perceived. Yeah, your fear of being perceived. You tell him, Ivy. One of the things that you need to do is step into radical self-acceptance. It is something that I've been following recently, and my gosh, has my entire world shifted since taking this simple step. Not so simple, but this simple, honestly, it was quite simple when you finally just allow yourself to exist and to be and to tune into your soul's deepest desires. Oh my gosh. Radical self-acceptance has healed me in so many ways, and I wanted to just share why this is so helpful and why I feel like others need to really step into and embody this type of existence, because it's so beautiful and it's so freeing and it's so exciting, and oh my gosh, I could go on and on. But radical self-acceptance is really tuning into your soul's deepest desire. I think from a young age we are indoctrinated to believe that we need to be a certain way, we need to behave a certain way. I mean, it's even just in our speech, right? And in the way that we teach children. We say good job, we encourage them to go to this school, to get these grades, to perform. Constantly we are performing against others. Everything is a comparison, who does this better. And it is crazy how then we grow up and we compare ourselves constantly to others, and we almost become fearful of the perception that others may have of us. This anxiety becomes really strong, right? Because we are constantly assuming that we need to behave, or we need to do a certain job, or we need to go to this particular school to, be successful in life, to be loved in life, to be viewed highly in life. And I think for creatives especially, this rhetoric is really detrimental because it is so far right from what our soul's truest desires are, which is not necessarily to lead our life in this capitalistic way, but more importantly, to really tune into our creative spaces, which are a lot more lucrative and a lot more unstructured than what society has told us we need to live our life by. And so one thing that is so funny is that we are told to put ourselves into this box, into this way of being. And I want to remind you, actually, the one thing that is nearly impossible, actually, it is impossible to destroy until you die and move on to a different realm, is your soul. And we can try and bend it and mend it and turn it into something that it isn't, but that soul is so strong. Your soul is literally everything that your body embodies, everything that this avatar is built upon. It is the foundation of your being. And by you ignoring such a massive facet of yourself, your entire sense of self, really, you are ruining your happiness entirely, because your soul is going to keep making its presence. Your soul is like a current right? And what happens when you try and swim against a current? It is exhausting. It is tiring. You're struggling to keep yourself afloat. And think about how that bleeds into your life. Even, not metaphorically speaking. What is happening when you are not embodying your soul's purpose? You're constantly thinking about it because you're doing this, this, and that. But that little nagging voice in your head is like, you should be pursuing your art. You should be pursuing your music. You should be cooking more. You should be drawing more. You should be posting more. You should be filming more. You should be taking photos more. Whatever it may be, that is going to keep nagging at you, because your soul's purpose for your entire life is to remind you of why you are here. And if your soul's purpose is to create, it will continuously tell you to create. Your soul is like that current. It is going to take you with you whether you want it or not. And so you can either decide to flow with it or constantly battle with it for your entire life, right? I want to read a quote, another quote that I actually read today that I feel like just embodied this and kind of sparked my inspiration for this video. To be ourselves causes us to be exiled by many others, and yet to comply with what others want causes us to be exiled from ourselves. And it is just truly, like, that just ties it all together. We truly are exiling a part of ourselves by not stepping into what we want to become, to what we want to be. I think another, thing that ties into that, and I feel like why people who are entirely embodying their soul feel abundant, right? Abundance is driven from from a Latin word, which I'm not going to mention because I'm going to butcher it, but from this Latin word, which means to be overspilling, to be too full. And there is a reason why beautiful is beautiful, right? Because you embodying every element of yourself, every facet of yourself is beautiful. So to be abundant, to be abundantly beautiful, to be abundantly happy, we need to be overspilling. We need to be exuding all these parts of our soul, because that is what abundance is. That is what beauty is. That is what life is supposed to be, right? We are supposed to embody every single facet of ourselves. And I truly believe that is why so many creatives are maybe not so great in traditional schoolings, or maybe can't hold a stable job, is because it's not something that we are supposed to be doing, honestly. And yeah, that is just my 2 cents. I understand that we live in a capitalistic world and it's not that easy, but one thing I will leave this note on is the longer that you try to run away from your soul's purpose is going to pull you and pull you and pull you and pull you. And where do you want to be when you're 50? Where do you want to be when you're 60? Tomorrow is not promised. You might not even live until you're 50 or until you're 60. And what do you want to do is lay on your deathbed and not have a story to tell about your happiest moment. You want your happiest moment not to be, hey, I bought this designer bag. You want your happiest moment to be, I painted the most beautiful painting in the world, or I painted on top of this mountain that I hiked and my soul felt revitalized by the sun. Doesn't that sound way cooler as your happiest moment than going into some freaking LV shop and buying a bag because you have the money to? No, who cares? Who cares? All this stuff is just going to literally leave your house and get sold onto somebody else. No one cares about that stuff. No one cares about that stuff. What do you want your story to be? You want your story to be you living. Otherwise, your soul is just going to keep getting reincarnated life after life after life until you finally listen and set your soul free. That's my 2 cents for today. I love you all so much. keep creating, keep existing. I'm rooting for you guys, and I love you so much. Mwah.
What you wanna do, and baby, it's just innocent. Tell me when I'm moving